I grew up in Masham and spent lots of my childhood visiting the ruins of castles and abbeys nearby. At the time, I had no idea that these places would become so important to me. I have an early memory of looking out at a landscape of rolling hills and imagining it as a series of flattened layers stacked up like dominoes. I have a fascination with taking something flat and making it three-dimensional, so pop-up books, animation and set designs have all influenced my style of work, along with many contemporary artists. I love experimenting with paper and the endless outcomes you can achieve with a bit of imagination. I call my work pinned paper cutting. It's something that I've developed myself. I work through various processes in order to get the finished piece, including paper cutting, but also painting, drawing, and pinning the work. Traditional paper cutting is an ancient art. I love the precision of using a scalpel to cut the paper, and the intricate details I can achieve are perfect for some of the very detailed buildings I choose as my subjects. To start a piece, I work with sketches and photographs taken from visits to my subject, and from there develop a final design which I will then transfer to my map. Before I begin the cutting stage, I colour the maps I use, but still want to see all the details coming through. The work comes to life when the solid sheet of map is cut up and the design emerges from the bits of cut paper. Then I use pins through the paper which allow me to experiment with the perspective and get the feeling of depth just right. Maps are very special to me. Their design influences my style, the way they flatten and simplify the world, rendering the landscape into a series of marks and lines. They are both personal and easy to relate to, and it's impossible to be near one and not get drawn into their exquisite detail. Maps are present at every stage in my work, whether I'm looking for new subjects or taking inspiration from the colours and symbols within them, so it makes complete sense for me to actually use them. Old maps are in abundance, and I enjoy the thought of recycling an out-of-date object and giving it a new lease of life. The landscape of the Dales has always been my main inspiration. I live in York, but I find myself coming back to places near Masham like Hackfall Woods and Jervaulx Abbey again and again for new ideas. Recently I've been looking at follies, which this area isn't short of. A folly by definition is built for no practical purpose, and most of the follies in this area were built as ornamental garden buildings or dramatic eye-catchers perched high on a hill. Their whimsical nature inspires me, as does their often elaborate design, which is a challenge to me as an artist. The way the landscape has changed around them also influences my work. They are beautiful, dramatic and ambitious, like works of art in themselves. I like to capture them as they are today, whether they've been well kept or restored, or left exposed to the elements.